Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can y'all see me? Shahi Jacha?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. İstungun Jokayadega. İstungun Jokayadega. Excuse me, goodness. Okay, that's one person. Okay. İstungun Jokayadega ga. Aga. İstungun Jokayadega ga. Hear the tone? Hear that ending. Ga and aga. This is plural. Aga. Okay. Now, we're going to go to, like I said, we're going back over things just because this is our last day for a week. We're going to jump again, guys. We're jumping again. This is advanced greeting terms. This is one that we kind of first did. We're going to go back over just to keep that, keep it going. This is kind of like a response, okay? Hishje. And response, hishje. I don't usually use hishje. I usually use istungo. I'll say istungo. Or remember I said I was going to teach the way I speak. I leave the E off. Remember? I drop begin in the real world of Muskogee people. They speak informally, but and the way we teach is informal. But the way we speak and we're holding a conversation is different. So that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay. So we say stungo. We don't say istungo. We say stungo. How are you? You know? And you can say istungesos. I'm fine. Or you can say stungesos. The way I say it is stungesos. Jinda. Jinda. It's good to see you. Chihijayat. Hiftos. You too. Chimio. Okay, look here. Chimi is you. Chimio. Yo is like a two. But it's like an expression, Chimio. It's more like an expression. So that's how we speak. You know, we haven't seen each other in a long time. Tihijiyagat. Hofunnidat. I'll put dot in there. Tihijiyagat. Hofunnis. Tihijiyagat. Hofunnidat. And that's saying we haven't seen each other in a long time. Mondos. That's true. Okay, look here. Abaldagi. Dungon fulla. Abaldagi is the rest of the people, the rest of your family. Okay? Dungon fullis. They're okay. Chinakta. Say chinak means how about yours? Like chinagi is yours. It's saying chinakta. And remember when I said da at the end is always a question. Okay? It's a question. All right. This is to a visitor. When somebody drives up, you say, Ajibus. Ajibus, come in. Legibus. When they come in, you say legibus or da legibus. Not iskidachiajigo. And you might, between this, you might have like, e off the west, I'm just around. Jinjugo bethet gomet off the west. E off the west, I just thought I'd visit you. Jinjugo bethet. You would say, Nakiskidachiajigo. You want something to drink? Coffee OJ dos. I have coffee. Hombichidoa. Hombichidoa. Have you eaten? And you can say Thalaketja. Or you know, a visitor come back and then they left. Hadam Talagahis, I'll be back. I say Thalaketja. I'll see you again, Chihijathis. Hadam Salagache. This is when they're leaving. You're telling them, come back again. Hadam Salagache. And you know, when I say tones, we don't say Ajibus. If we just spoke that Ajibus, see, that's not saying like come like a welcome, a greeting. You say Ajibus. You gotta have that tone, a feeling to it. And that's where tones come from, guys. You know, I can say Ajiba. You know, if somebody comes to this door, I say Ajiba. That don't sound welcoming, does it? But in our language, we say Ajibus. Ajibus. Hear that tone? Legibus. Legibus. Now listen. Nakiskida go. Hear that tone? Go means, you know, like, want some? Go. You think you want some? Nakiskida go. Gafi OJ dos. Gafi OJ dos. See? Chihijathas. I'll see you again when they're leaving. Haram talagache. See? You can add this to anything. Haram talagache. Chihijiat. Hitos. It's been good I've seen you. You know, in our the way we speak, the tones, it has everything to do with our language. You know. Even at the grounds and even at our churches, you can tell when a song at churches has spirit. You can tell at a ground when the song there has a spirit. You can tell just by listening to it because of the way it's being done. You can feel that spirit either way. And that's what tone is all about. Tones. And if you listen to a song, it's got tones in it. You know, and that's what this is right here. Our language is like melody. You know, like I said, with tones, you can make it sad. You can make it right here. You made it back. I can make that sarcastic because my mother used to. I used to come in sometimes 1 o'clock. She'd be sitting up and she'd say, the locker chop. She was saying, you finally made it back? Sarcastic, the locker chop. Or if I had been gone 2 days, you know, visiting or even just being gone, she would say, the locker chop. And that tone, I knew at that tone that she just didn't say you made it back. She was saying, oh, you finally made it back. By her tone. You know, and you know, and she would but if I had been in school and came back, she'd say, good job. You made it back. You made it back. See? These tones are very important, guys. Okay, look here. We don't have byes. There are no goodbyes, you know, in the Muskogee language. Now I'm just going back over some of these so that y'all won't forget. This is for this is going back over retention. I will see you. Chihijathis, we don't have byes. And you know, I always wondered why we never had bye. But this one elder told me, he said to me, when you say goodbye, like, you know, like in a European, they say goodbye. He said, it's like saying, burying them before they died. You know, like a final thing. And so, Chihijathis, I will see you. When we leave each other, we'll say Chihijathis. But in our office, we say Bakshi Dawan. Maybe tomorrow. At the end at 5 o'clock, we'll say Bakshi Dawan. Maybe tomorrow. for the next day, maybe tomorrow. We're saying like, we don't know, but we bet, we'll be here if nothing happens. Okay, I will see you again. That's one person now. And both of these is single. Like if I'm talking to Josh or Jane, whatever, I'll say chihijathis. But if I say it to every one of you, plural, I say chihijagathis. Chihijagathis. Would you use chihijathis on the phone as well, or is there something you would say different for talk again? Okay, that's what I was thinking about this morning, but I couldn't get it down. Hadam jimbonayathis. Bonayida is the infinitive verb. It's got the ETA. Bonayida is to speak or talk. But when you say jimbonayathis is second person, I will talk to you again. Hadam jimbonayathis. Jimbonayathis. I'll talk to you again. Okay? Hadam jimbonayathis. Hadam jimbonayathis. Baksidawa, maybe tomorrow, yeah. Yep.
Is that spelling it right or probably not?
Baksida TV. TV. Dawa. Okay, it's TAWV. Dawa. Baksidawa. Baksidawa. And that's how we said maybe tomorrow. And that's just saying maybe, because we don't know what's going to happen overnight. That's how come we ask that. Make it through the night, okay. That'll work. Yeah. So see, when we do these things as Native people, I always wonder why we don't have. But that one is Hadam Jimbonayathis. I'll talk to you again. Okay. We will see each other again. It don't say we might see each other again. It says Hadam Tihijiathis. Tihijiathis. We will see each other again. Let's see each other again. Hadam Tihijiathis. I called my cousin today, just on business in my office, and she said, don't go no what. Don't go no what. If everything's okay, let's have lunch. Let's eat lunch. If everything's okay. See, okay. This is another thing now. This is my mom's rule. Especially like gatherings during the holidays and stuff. She said, you're not supposed to make definite plans. You can't say, I'll be there. Now there's two different things right here, see? She say, Hadam Jita, I will see you again. That's almost a promise. But then when like holidays come up, holidays were like, it can pass you over, it can pass you by. And so she would say, you don't make definite plans. She used to say, don't go no mat. If everything's okay, I'll be there. I'll be there. And this was mostly for grounds, for the, we didn't make specific grounds. We didn't say, we're going Saturday night, which I do here now every day. From people, they'll say, we're going to ground Saturday. But that's a sacred place that we didn't make plans to go. It had to be, if everything's okay, we'll be there. Okay. Let's see each other again. Hadam Tihi Jagathis. Let's meet up again. This is a surprise right here. Like I told you before, I went into a native store in Tulsa, and we met up somebody that was just down the road from us, And one day we was at the Shawnee Mall, and we met up with somebody we knew. And sometimes you just run into each other. And then there's a restaurant in Tulsa. We went in there and we saw somebody in our area. Just happened to. That's just. And so when we started talking and we was leaving, we said, let's meet up again. We just didn't plan this. It was just surprisingly meeting up. And I've done that a few times. Like I said, I went around the aisle and there he was, but it wasn't a surprise. It was like we just started talking. It was just something that happens, and it wasn't like, oh, like that. It was like we saw each other and we just started talking. Like it was normal. And then in the restaurant, same way, we walked in to sit down and there they were, and we kind of looked at each other. And it wasn't like a surprise. It was like, we said, oh, stolen for lots of. Are y'all going around? Okay. See? But when it was time to leave, we said, listen, somewhere, who knows? Where we gonna meet up? Not stungon omat, if that works out, Yan magitska. Oh haya. Agasamis. Good. See? It's stungon omat. If it works out. See? If it works out, I'll be there. And my mom used to warn us about that all the time, about especially, she was raised around it from a little girl. So she would say, you don't make definite plans. And see, I warn my girls. Every time they'll say, we're going, and don't say that. Just say, we may or we might. So now they're in the habit of saying, we're going to try. That's what they say. We're going to try. And see, they'll say, we're going to try. And that's the way to say, we're going to try to go here and we're going to try to go there. We don't make definite plans, but this right here is almost a promise, ain't it? Right here. That contradicting, isn't it? That's contradicting, but why? I don't know. See, that's what's the elders. So I just, you didn't question them. So I just took what she said and walked on. I did, and I listened. You have to listen. And my mom told me that, Jimashi ho no what marble heads to Hansis. Nita Hangoshes, Jimajo no what in marble heads Hansis. She used to tell me, when somebody is giving you advice, you listen. If they're one day older than you, you listen. And back then they didn't take you down the wrong road. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. And back then, when I was growing up, it wasn't. It wasn't the wrong advice. A lot of times, it wasn't the wrong. They weren't going to take you down the wrong road. In fact, I seen this this person, and a drinker, elder. She said, "Ihui ahayat afetasi, iligoros." She said, don't go around like I am. She said, it's no good. And I was telling my mom about it, and she said, Mabo Hestos, she said, you listen to her, she knows. Say, and see, that was my day. That was back when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, there were so many elders. So many. So many elders. We have very few which we can say elders now. Like I'm considered an elder, but I can't live up to them. They were wise. They were wise people. They were, I can't live up to them, but they would, they just like this person. They said, don't go around like I am. It's no good. See? Nowadays, what I've peer pressure. I see peer pressure now. Back then it wasn't. You know, and I always warn my girls, don't you fall for peer pressure. Don't fall for peer pressure. You know. But you know, and it happens, you know. And my little grandson, he's a follower too, to a point, you know, he can be a follower. And my husband always tells him, you don't do what everybody else is doing. You get your own mind, you know. And he'll talk serious, and I don't know if that's our fault for a 9-year-old or a 8-year-old to talk serious like that. And he will talk serious, you know. But you know, I don't know if it's because of our demeanor or what. Okay, we're going back over stuff. Remember yesterday we had a lot of ja. I was trying to explain that. Ja is used for, this is a pronoun, this is basic. Ja is used for feelings, family, and body parts. Something that cannot be separated or you cannot give away. Okay? You can't give away your stomach, so you say janutki, which nutki is the base word for stomach. But when you put ja, you're saying my stomach. Okay? Can't give away your stomach. Okay? When you say janutki, any body part, jangi, chashakpa, chaga, chayobo, my nose, chadoswa, chajukwa. You can't give them away. You can't take it off and give it to them. Okay, so you use ja, possessive. If I'm talking about second person, I'm talking about Thurs in stomach, I'll say chinatki, chinatki, chingi, chisakpa, chiyubu, chiduswa. That's second person. Possessive. Third person. E. Me and Thor is talking about Josh's arm or stomach. We'll say inafki. Inafki. E. Third person. Possessive. Can't transfer, can't give away. Ingi. That stays the same. Ingi. Isapa. Iyobo. Idoswa. Ijokwa. See? Or you can just say jokwa. When you're speaking, me and Thor can be talking, and I say jokwa nokidos or jokwa in hasafkidos. Or that in hasafki? In hasafki is saying that person's mouth is swollen. We're gonna go through all this in the next class because I'm doing it the way we speak. That's how we speak. Okay, look here. Chanuski nokis. My stomach hurts. Okay, here's a good one right here. This is different word. Chanuski sugogochkis. Sugogochkis. Sugogochkis is like growling or anything, but there's a difference. You know, have you heard? That's kind of like making a sound of it. You heard it when you're hungry. Sugogochkis. I'm tired and I'm sleepy. Chahodoshi. Chanochkilis. See? You can't transfer your weirdness. You say Jahodoshi, because this the base word for this hodoshi is hodoshida, to get tired. Hodoshi. Chanochkilis. I'm sleepy. I'm going to lay down. Chanochkilis wakahanes. Waka is the comes from the word wakida, to lay down. Okay, wakahanes, I'm going to. Okay, and that's what I would say. I told my mom, Januchkilis wakahanes. I told her I'm sleepy, I'm gonna lay down, Mom. My mother is asleep. Chachki, see? You can't give your mother away. Chachki no jidos. She's asleep. Chachki hido shidos. Here we go. You can use a tone here. You can say your mother is pretty, or you can say she's beautiful. Chachki hido shidos. Because we don't have a word for beautiful, but we got a word for pretty. So we put a tone to pretty and say he so she does. When you put it that way, that's just she's eye-stopping beautiful. See, that tone makes that pretty, beautiful, gorgeous. My grandfather is old. Jamboja ajulidos. Okay, you can say my grand, but you can say Jamboja ajulidos. Really, really old. My grandpa was, I think, they didn't know his real age, but my mom said he probably would have been, he could have been 99 to 100 years old. You know, I didn't have that privilege of meeting him. I didn't get the privilege, but my brother, which is 3 years older than me, he was like 6 months old when my grandpa died. He got to see his first, his grandchild. He got to see his grandchild. Okay, you can say this too. Ajuloshi. Ajuloshi. Dos. Jaboja ajuloshi dos. Say. Jaboja afachki dos. My grandfather's a happy man. He was, they said, my grandpa. He was happy. You can say he was just really, really happy. Jaboja afachkidos. See that, Tony? You can change afachki to just hilarious. He's really, really just jubilant. See? Okay, my grandmother is old. Jaboshi. Hoktalidos. Or Hoktaloshidos. And she was probably about 98 when she passed too. I remember my grandma, I had a lot of time with my grandma. I was fortunate, that she lived that long. And I'm gonna tell you something, she was able. She got around. And you know what? She only wore shoes when she had to. We go shopping, she put on shoes, and then she come back. And it wasn't these shoes. We bought her shoes in one store because no one else had it. But this store toward, I don't remember, we woke our Holdenville. They had a store there and they carried her shoes. And it was Ty and it was Granny. They come out just here about last year. And I told my husband, my grandma used to wear those kind of shoes. And they had heels on. And she would wear those to town. I bet a pair of shoes lasted her 5-6 years. Because she only wore them at home. She was barefoot. Summertime, she would not. I don't see how she stood it. We go walking down the road and it was sandy and she'd be barefoot. Jabushi, Hoktalidos. My grandmother is old. My grandmother is saying, Jabushi maktos. Jabushi maktos. My mother used to say, Chiboshi maktungo. Your grandmother is saying it, isn't it? Isn't she saying it? She's saying Chiboshi because I'm second person, see? Chiboshi maktungo. And she said, ain't your grandmother saying that? Because my grandma would ask us to do something. And we kind of, lagged. We call it lollygagging now. Well, back in old school, I'll be in old school, we used to say lollygagging. That's what we would do. We'd lollygagging, and my mother would say, Chiboshi maktungo. Is she saying that to you? My head hurts. Jaga nukis. My head is hot. Jaga heiros. Any questions on this? See how this tone works, guys? This is tone. Here, my teeth or tooth hurts. Now, we can't say notice. I've heard that. Notice. There is no such thing as notice. Don't add the S. Notice. We don't have like teeth, tooth. We don't have like dogs, okay? We have to say the number. I have, like if I say my 2 teeth are hurting, I have to say janudi, hokole, nokis. But I can't say janudis, nokis. I have to put a number to it. Janudi docine nokis. Okay, but you can't transfer your teeth, so you say janudi. My teeth hurts, or my tooth hurts. My eyes are tired. Jadoswa hodosis. Look at that. It says my eyes in English, but right here it just says jadoswa hodosis. It don't say jadoswas. It's got jadoswa. Any questions? G is used for second person, just like I said, okay? Jinoski nokide. Hear that D? Remember I told you D at the end means a question. So it says Jinoski nokide. Does your stomach hurt? Jinoski, second person. I'm talking to somebody else. I'm talking to Josh. I say Jinoski nokide, Joshua. Jinoski nokide, Thor. Jinoski nokide. Does your stomach hurt? Nagichi hojifkadi. What is your name? What is your clan? Nagichi malegadi. Nagichi malegadi. That D at the end means it's a question. Look at all these questions. And they got D at the end. Nagichi malegadi. Chichki no jidi. Your mother sleep. Chichki. See? I'm going up to Thor and I'll say Chichki. Second person. Chichki no jidi. What is your mother's name? Uh-oh. This is supposed to be your grandmother's name. Chiboshi, it could be Chichki. Nagit hojifkadi. Nagit hojifkadi. This is what's your grandmother's name? Chiboshi Nagit hojifkadi. What is your grandfather's name? Chiboja Nagit hojifkadi. Okay. Chiboja Nagit hojifkadi. You know, my grandpa, you know what my grandpa's name was, Sigomahi. Sigomahi. But when Dawes Rowe came, they named him Jacob. They named him Jacob. My grandson's named after him, my youngest grandson. His name is, and then when Dawes Rowe came in, they named his name to Jacob, but then his tribal town members and everybody, they called him Jigaby. So that's my grandson's name, Jigaby. They call him Jacoby and everything else. They call him Jacoby, and he knows his name. So he'll say, Mama, they're calling me Jacoby. And I say, well, they can't say Jigaby. But he knows what his name is. Boy, his mom, when he knows, when she says Jigaby, he'll look up and he'll stop whatever he's doing. Jigaby. Okay. Does your head hurt? Chiganokidi. Look at all those D's in there. Chiganokidi. Does your head hurt? Is your head hot? Chigahayidi. What would your grandmother say? Chiboshi. Nagin magidi. Chiboshi. Nagin magidi. It's got chiboshi. It's supposed to be you. Chiboshi. Nagin magidi. What would your grandmother say? And you know, one time, 2 ways, good or bad. 2 ways. I make Jadahaga. And my mother would say, Chiboshi Jihija Noa, Chiboshi Nagid Magidi. If your grandmother saw this, what would she say? What would she say? But then again, if I did something that wasn't very good, she'd say, Chiboshi Nagid Magidi in a tone. What would your grandmother say about this? You know, she never got to see her great grandkids. And I was told that one time, you know, when I had my first one, she said, Chiboshi Nagid Magidi Hiji, but no what? If she got to see this, what would she say? What would have your grandmother said? She would have loved it. My mom said she would have, you know, and my dad, you know, he never got to see his grandkids at all either. And so my mom said that about Chifki. Majostagi Ojat. I thought, know what? If he was around when the grandkids were here, Hoban Hogahanadis, they would have been really spoiled. See how that tone is? You know, it's this language is so, to a point, complex, but yet so beautiful to me. I got checked it. It says, but oh, that's really helpful. I hope so, because I'm speaking the way, you know, we're learning formal, but I want to teach too. How we really speak, because it's different, a little different, you know, it's a little different. Okay. Job phrases. Ja Luis, I'm hungry. Ja Luchkilis, I'm sleepy. Ja Fetchkis, I'm happy. Ja Jabukkis. One time my mom, you know, I went to her house and she said, Ja Jabukki, Dalek the West. I'm sitting here, I'm mad. And I said, not storming, why? She said, Stuji Hagenken. On Tlahijayan. Stuji to her, and you know, this little her little grandson was probably 2 on another parent, not mine. She said, she said he had got patted, you know, he got a spanking. Oh, she was mad. Because to her, she used to tell us, you don't spank a child, you talk to him. Imbonites and Oakishis. So she was said, I'm sitting here mad. See, I'm tired. And I say that to my kids. Okay, what else we got here? Any questions on this? You know, this is just going back over things. Family. See, you can't give away family. Judgeki, my mother. Base word for that is ichki, but when you put judgeki on there, that's saying you got to spell it a little different. CVCKE, and you say it different. Judgeki. Ifki is a father in general, but Jeffki is my father. See how it's spelled a little different? My grandfather, Jaboja, that's the same. Jaboja. My grandmother, Jaboshi. But look at my mother and father, that changes a little bit. Chachki. Because Ichki is in general a mother. But when you say Chachki, you say it different. You can't say Jaichki. Jaichki, you have to say Chachki. My father, Chachki. Chaboja, Chaboshi. Here, we got body parts. Chaga, look here. Iga is a head. But look how this is spelled. When you say my, you take the E off and just say Jaga. Same way with my hand. Changi. My heart. No, here we go. It didn't change this one. Chafiki. Chanaski. Chasapa. See how this is going, guys? Chaganukis. I can't say cha-iga. Cha-iga. I have to say chaga. Okay. We're just going back. We're just kind of reviewing some of the things we went through before. Just reviewing. Okay. Let me see. We still got about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go back on. Anything y'all want to go back over before? Because today's our last day for another week. You get a 1 week break and then we're going to come back again. But I always ask this, are y'all learning something? That's my question. Are you learning something? Are you learning something?
Ihe, Nanagan Kitlis.
Good, good, good. Because, you know, I want you to learn because of this, you know, good job, good thing. Because, you know, I don't need to be standing here if y'all's not learning anything. And like I said, my mind rolls all the time. How can I teach this for them to learn? I know, but I need to teach you, so you need to learn it. But I need to teach it in a way that you can learn it. And if you give me feedback, I'll do it because that's the way you can learn. I want you to learn it. You know, I want you to learn it. So we got about 15, maybe 17 minutes, and about 19 minutes. So I'm gonna go see what we got. Is there anything y'all want to go over that needs to go over that you think we need to go over? Because now we're gonna get this 1 week break and we're going into little deeper. And all these are used in that right here. All these are used. Ja, chi. Those sounds are gonna come in, tones are gonna come in, guys. It's just gonna be different, you know. It's just, but all what we've been through is just advancing a little more, little more, little more, and a little more. That's why we started with all this beginnings. Look here we go. We're just going over things. A Julie aged. A Julie is aged. But look, aged woman. Hoktali. See, that's a little different. Hoktali. A baby. Istuji. Istuji is like a little person. And that's exactly what that's saying. Isti is a person, but when you put the uji at the end, you got a baby. Istuji, a little bitty person. Bacon, mikoja. Mikoja. Salt meat or salt pork? Doshina. Doshina. Doshina. I was telling them last night, we was talking to different people last night, and you know, Doshina was a big part of our lives. It was, you know, we didn't have preservatives or anything, and I know, you know, when they killed a hog, you know, it was communal. They would, if somebody come over and help, they'd give them meat. But Doshina was a big thing in our culture. So when I cooked salt meat, I would let my grandkids, that's what they teeth was the rind. I take all the fat off. I would cut it off and just give them the rind, and I tied a string to it. And they used that as a teeth when they were teething. They would chew on it and scratch their gums with it. I didn't use, we went through Orgel, don't get me wrong. We had Orgel, but Doshina, the rind to it. They love to teeth on it. And the string was because if they choked on it, we could pull it out. Now, see, that's the way we were taught too. That was a natural teething ring. That was a natural teething ring. We cut all the fat off, put a string on it, and we gave it to the baby, and they would just chew on it, and it kind of got, it's not very pretty when they get done with it, but that was a natural teething ring. Pouty or sulky, we just saw, I seen, well, my daughter, we call her as our bonus grandbaby. She's got a little boy that she keeps all the time, and he's not really our grandbaby, but he's hers. He's her adoptive baby. So we call him bonus baby. And he just joined our family here not too long ago. And he calls me grandma just like all of them. And we call him bonus baby. And he was pouty the other day. He was just sitting there. And I said, gee, Liskity. Okay. Gee, Lisky. What was I saying? Are you sulking? Are you being pouty? Are you mad? Ilisky. Iliskida is the base word. But when I said gee, Lisky, that went to a pronoun, didn't it? I looked at him, I said, gee, Liskity, are you mad? Are you pouty? Are you sulking? And he just kind of looked at me, and anytime I talked to him, but this is what he did. Okay, so see, he's been around us. So I said, Hombakche, because I would cook breakfast, I said, Hombakche. And he went around going, Hombas, Hombas, Hombas. See, he picked it up. He went to, just like my grandson didn't like it too much because he took his job. But I told him, don't say nothing. Let him do it. So he went around, just like my grandson did, and say, home box, home box, home box. And I thought that was, and he just turned 3. Or 4, I'm sorry. He just turned 4. And he was going around saying, home box chi, home box chi. He said, home box, home bus, home bus. See? Okay, complain. And this is like when you're, complaining. Dehegida, to complain. That's infinitive. Dehegida, to gripe, to complain. To me, that's more like, you're griping about something and complaining about something. That's dehegida. That is an infinitive verb. My mom had a friend. We went over there one day, and this was the friend that was generational. It was like great grandmas, great grandmas, great grandmas all come up to now, and we still know them to this day. My generation, and then my girls' generation. It's so long. Okay. She said. My mother asked her, what are you doing? She said, I'm complaining. And she said, Nachstormen, why? She said, Hochdagen wilagen, hayadegen, in hoflage takakto. She said, my girls were out running around all night, and now they're lazy today. See, she was cool. They were getting in trouble, I'm sure. I'm sure she was complaining to him. She was the Hagen. Okay. Come, I just. Go, these are just words that, you don't hardly hear anymore. Odohi, damp. Odohi is damp, but look at wet. Let's be. Odohi is damp, wet is let's be. So when something's wet, you say let's be dos. It is wet. But if you say damp, Because not all things are wet, are they? Steady. Odohidos. Look here. Idodali. Idodali. Dali means like I'm gonna put that dollar. Dead. You know, dead. Idodali. Dead tree or dead limb. Ili. Here we go. See? Look at the Ili. Dead. Like a dead in body. Agias, come in. These are opposites right here. Osas, go out. Most of these against are. Right. Agias, come in. You know, I did that to my grandson last night. He's asthmatic anyway. And so he has asthma. So last night he was wanting to play outside. And I said, Agias. I was mad. Because he would, I asked him to come in 2 times and he wouldn't, but the 3rd time I said, Agias. And he did. And I said, Manlegas. I said, sit right there. And he did. He went over and said, Orsas. Orsas. Go out. Orsas. And I talk to my cats that way. They'll try to come in and I'll, you know, kind of push them out and nudge them out. And I say, Orsas. We had a dog that knew who was. New is Mojesi. Old is Liski. Sour is Kamoksi. Sweet is Jambi. I've heard some kids named Jambi. They were sweet. But you know, like I go to my Head Start class and they'll just hug on me and I'll say, oh, y'all so Jambi. They know what Jambi is now. Because it's repetition. Jambi. Ashi Jambidos. You can say that's tea sweet. Coffee, Jambidos. Wagabishi gamukshidos. Wagabishi is milk. Gamukshidos. It's sour. The milk is sour. Wagabishi. Look what you can do with this, guys. Idodali nokfedas. Burn the dead trees. Idodali. It can mean anything. Idodali. It can mean a tree. It can mean limbs. It can mean branches. But burn it. Nokfedas means burn it. Idodali nokfedas. Lachpi. Igana lachpidos. The ground's wet. Igana lachpidos. Ground's wet. But we can also say Igana odohidos. The ground is dead. Odohi. Don't have to be wet, it can be dead. One time we was out, my mom.
A doggy is dry.
Huh?
A doggy is dry.
Dry is gusty.
Gusty.
Gusty is dry. So odohi is damp, lechpi is wet, but dry is gusty. Gusty. So you can say igana guspidos. Land is the ground is just dry. We can say bahi. Bahi is grass. Bahi lechpidos. Or we can say the grass is damp. Bahi odohidos. Or we can say dry. Bahi guspidos. And we can put a tone to this. Lechpidos. Bahi lechpidos. You're saying just almost soak it. Odohidos. We can say Bahi odohidos. See? You can say the grass is dead, but if we say the grass is so dry, and just like hot August, July, we can say Bahigas pidos. Or we can say Dalidos. The grass is dead. Dalidos. We can say, you know, I know it seems hard for y'all now, but I think y'all starting, you know, I'm hoping y'all can put sentences together, you know, word content together. at least try, because we've been going on. Jambi, look at Jambi. You can say Ashi, Hoktoji, little girl. It's sweet. Jamboshidos, Jambido. You can say Ashi Jambidos, Gafi Jambidos, Dalek Jamba Jambidos. Or you can even say Abishita Jambidos. The steak is just tasty, but it's sweet. You can put this in for sweet. Or hicidos. Abishita, hicidos. Remember, abishita, steak. Any questions? Now, tonight we're going to have storytelling. Honka storytelling. Tonight's going to be that storytelling for our program, in our language program. We're going to do Honka stories. And we went through Halloween. Well, the weather was bad, so they it got called off, and then this is our only chance. And since 31st was just 2 days or so ago, 3 days or so ago, they're going to have it tonight. And so I'm hoping people will show up. As Native people, we have our own little Honka stories. Honka's a monster. We have our own little Honka stories and our own little Honka beliefs. And so we're going to do that tonight. And everybody's kind of running frantic right now. And what is Honka? Monster. Onagoji, little stories. So we're going to have that tonight up here at the cultural department. They're going to gather up there. We're going to have a fire outside. We're going to do it by fire. We're going to build a fire. They're going to build a fire out there, and they're going to sit around and tell stories like they did a long time ago. We're going to feed. It's going to be interesting. I want to hear all these Honka stories. Stoa, try it, Magitskidoa.
Stoa, I'm sorry, some of that's wrong, but
yeah, that's okay.
Try it, Magitskidoa.
Try it.
Or try. Try.
You can do that anyway. Like, okay, you have to put it with something. Like, say, can you try making bread? You have to put it with something. You can't just say try it. Okay, say try this coffee. You would say Ishegas. Ishegas. Doidi saying drink it. How is it? See, or try. Miji. Okay, try like say talking. Onai almost. Onai almost. Do you know?
Onai almost.
Onai almost. Try to speak. See, try to speak.
Onai almost.
Okay. Do you know the story? I think they are going to be recorded. I think they are. Gotta run. Look at Jonathan here. He used the right content. He's talking to all of y'all. Gotta run. See, he's doing it. See, he's telling y'all, I'll see y'all. He's telling all of y'all guys, not just me, all of you.
Estoy magari internet.
See, we don't have a word for internet. And it seemed like somebody had a word for it, and you
Choca Hoya.
Choca
Hoya.
I think they said it like running through wires seemed like one time. Running through wires. I gotta ask that. I think my coworkers knew what that was. Sometimes we'll forget them because we use internet every day. This is internet. But as far as our elders, there was never a word because they weren't around. So we have to describe it, So I think some department described it or something. I can't remember, but I'll find out, Thor, and I'll let you know. But Haziskika, Hamgat Ortiga. Haziskika, sun measure. Hamgat Ofibiga. Yan Shishpoche. I'm finishing. Dajak. Hamgin Ashan. Okay, see, I didn't say that right, but I'm gonna jump next week and over there. I'll see y'all, okay?
Joat is bogus.
It's bogus. Yeah. Mahagadat, Shishpogi Tues. It's over for this one, but Hadam Ojiatis. We'll have some more. Dajak. Slim Hamgat. Dajak. Slim Hamgat means the week after. I'll get my lessons done. I'm working on them now. They're gonna be on flash drive. It's just, and yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. It's gonna go a little in depth. I got law conversations. I got, different little things on there. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be interesting. And I got we'll probably learn to sing certain songs. I got little things on there that's just, but I'm gonna do it the way I speak. The way I speak. I'm gonna do it the way I speak. Okay. So Haram Jihitagatisti. Iajayi the boy. Y'all take care of yourself. And Abogatson Naktoga what says that I'm gonna be writing papers and Haram Jihitagasi. Mano, everybody, like I said, I got all the respect in the world for you for taking this class.
Oxy Dawa.
Oh, I know.
Oxy.
Very good. So if you see somebody, you going to leave somebody, you say you're going to see them tomorrow. Like this is every 5 days a week for us. We'll say Bakshi Dawa. Maybe tomorrow. We may just call in. All right. Mado, everybody. Chihitagate. Chihitagate. Mado.